welcome to Cain, everybody. Cain Episode 2, the long-awaited sequel. It's only been a month since we had the last session. That is on me, that's my bad. I was moving into school, and a bunch of other shit was happening. But, here we are, 1 month later, and we're ready to get it going.
How dare you, Emma?
As always, my
college.
bad. Yeah. As always, I am going to be your game master today, your lovely admin, who's going to be running the session of Cain for my sins and sinners over here.
Hi, I'm Sumner. I use he/him pronouns, and I will be playing Connell.
Hello, I'm Skye. I play the character Phan, and I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, my name's Naren. I use he/him pronouns, and I'll be playing Ryuji.
Hi, I'm Rylee. I use she, they, and I'll be playing Ivy.
Nailed it. Fucking nailed it.
I use she, her pronouns, please and thank you, and I think we're ready to just dive into it.
Did you say your name?
Yeah, me, Emma. Hi. Hello.
No, this is going great.
It's perfect.
I think this is the best set of introductions we've done.
Episode 2.
We've only done one.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ideally, by episode 5, we'll only be speaking in gibberish.
Beloved viewers, we promise you that the quality of the episodes will go up and the quality of the intros will go down.
The one guarantee.
We're gonna have an anime opening in like 6 months.
AV issues aside, modern problems and move-ins aside, I think we're just gonna jump right into it and head back to the streets of 1980s Tokyo. So where we last left our party, our exorcists, they had defeated the Hound Sin, dragging around the corpse of formerly our poor boy, Isobe. Spoiler alert if you didn't watch episode 1. And it ended with them on the rooftop, covered in blood, as the rain started to fall, and they looked down at Makoto, just looking at them from the street, cigarette in hand. 2 weeks have passed since that fateful day. Just a tiny bit of a time skip, and the rains in Tokyo continue to fall as the spring sort of typhoon season begins to shift in, and the streets become much more water-swept. You all find yourselves slightly richer in script, richer in spirit, and feeling a little bit more accomplished with your first successful kill logged in the system. Makoto is proud of you all for not fucking up and for no casualties on your end, aside from a few civilian casualties, but hey, you got the job done, and that's all that matters.
Easiest hunt of my life.
Bringing us... So true.
Why is that unironically true?
There is a hole in my stomach.
It's gonna be the easiest.
That was the easiest one.
It's only getting harder from here. Oh, I would like to mention, our exorcists all have increased in category level. Flash the picture of the category chart. We went from 1 to 2, which means you can do all of this cool stuff now. Anyway, with introductions aside, stage setting, dressed, we're going to jump back to Division 12, and where would all of you be right now in the office on this rainy Tokyo day?
At Phan's old room that she had by herself, she managed to scrounge together enough random parts here and there that she was able to do a lot of maintenance on some of her more complicated objects, like anything mechanical. She has no longer had access to that for the past 2 weeks. And during that time, she has retrofitted a bench, turned it around to get a kind of very low table, and scrounged together screws, double-sided tape, glue, any random kind of components she could find, small pieces of copper wire, and with very rudimentary tools, fixing a lot of her objects that have needed maintenance the most over the past couple of days, as she's been pretty enveloped in trying to get back some of the stock of things that she has used to repair that she no longer had.
Dang.
As she is working away on a microwave at the current moment, very knowledgeable about how to not immediately kill herself by electric shock.
Yeah, don't touch the capacitor.
How long does it take for her to disassemble a microwave?
2 minutes, a little bit longer, because she's trying not to die.
Rookie numbers, you gotta get down those numbers.
But the microwave will also just scream as loud as possible if she gets too close to any electrical components that may instantly kill her as well.
As Phan is doing this, Connell is over by the windows. He's made a little nook for himself, looking out at the view. He sits there with a small hand-pan drum as he is just tapping it and looking around the room inquisitively. Sitting at his side is raw ramen that would have been microwaved had the microwave not now been disassembled. And there is a huge bite hole in the middle of it as he continues to tap, and he looks over at Phan. Phan, when is the microwave going to be fixed?
Can you wait 5 minutes?
You said that 60 minutes ago.
Well, you told me there were more problems, so I have to fix them.
Yeah, the main problem is that it doesn't work.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Well, if I had actual equipment, maybe we could ask that bossy girl about something.
Well, sadly, getting proper equipment comes with the proper script, and I don't think they're interested in doing that unless we pay them.
Well, then you're gonna have to wait, student guy.
Do you just like have the sauce packet just like
It's just
the soy
on
sauce
the,
is
it's just on the floor, and he's just taking bites out of it. He's been contemplating whether or not to sprinkle it on the raw ramen or not.
Oh no.
That's genuinely what I used to do in middle school.
What?
Stop.
No. What you do is put it in a plastic bag, smash it with a hammer, and then put the
guys are
seasoning in.
You're so fucking weird. There's no way.
No, me and Skye are locked in.
No, and it's like a ramen snack. It's crunchy.
So gross.
Actually, you smash the brick of dry ramen against your head and then snort the powder.
No, get some salt, paprika in there.
Stop. You like I don't like how much effort you put into this. Just,
Yeah,
just boil the water.
Connell is debating whether he takes another bite of the raw ramen.
Chaos. Absolute chaos.
Yeah, mom's gone getting her like stomach hole fixed, so just everything's gone to shit.
What is Ivy doing in the apartment?
You probably haven't seen much of her over these past 2 weeks. She gets up right as the sun comes up and goes to work out for like probably 6 hours a day, and then comes back and then just kind of sits on her bed with her stuffed animal. And I don't know how observant you guys would have been towards this time, but if you think you're like an observant sort of person, you would have probably seen her cut open the bunny and pull out like a piece of like sort of like paper. You can't really see what it is, and you probably haven't asked her about it, but if you would have like an observant person, you probably would have seen it happen.
Ivy, you know, working out every day it's not good for your muscles.
I don't want to sit idly while we wait for Ryuji to come back. I'd rather put my mind to something.
Why don't you try music? I picked up the drum during the time. I made a little thing out of some twine and stuff.
Yeah, the drum.
What's your favorite track? Do you like Bum Bum Tish or do you like Tish Tish Bum?
Kind of like the silence in between the two.
Oh, so you want more pauses in the songs. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not the type of person to reassemble and disassemble a microwave all day, so working out is the best for me.
It's a useful skill. I didn't even know you could disassemble those things.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
If you do it quick enough, they won't figure out.
Who's they?
The microwave.
Oh, the microwave.
The toaster, the microwave, Makoto, all the same.
Well,
What did you tear apart to make a drum? Like, where?
One of the beds is completely destroyed.
Steel pan drum, right?
Yeah, it's like some sheet metal with like the bed like sheets as the base, and he's just been using that. But oddly enough, you guys see that Connell, as he plays the drum, is like looking at stuff in the room that isn't really there or moving. He points over at the destroyed bed. I used that. You notice that one of the parts of like the lockers, one of the lockers' doors is now like in half. I used half of the locker door, and I used some string actually that I just found around, and some rubber.
I haven't really heard your music this whole time because they've been begging for you to stop, so...
Oh. Wait, so it's like accompanied with cries of agony?
It's only cries of agony, really. And help, help, and things like that.
Are like all instruments like this, or just this one?
I think you made it badly.
It's kind of like if you Frankensteined a thing together.
Well, I mean, it works. It makes a noise. That's the purpose of an instrument, right? I guess, like...
Don't you draw? Isn't that, like, something you do?
Yeah, I drew a lot up until the point where, I don't know, something happened recently where whenever I make vibrations, I see weird disturbances. I can't quite describe it.
And I will ask now, for the sake of just brevity, has anyone else done, like, significant property damage to the offices of Division 12 while Makoto's been away? Or is this just, like, a Connell and Phan thing?
Well, I like to imagine the common area is a fucking mess now. Like, there's just garbage everywhere.
I maybe tried to, like, clean up after them as best I could. So I would ask what's important to Phan, but Phan would be like, everything's important, because everything has a voice. And I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna put it in a separate room then. And I would just actually go throw it away.
There's just like this one janitor's closet just like filled with like bullshit. Just like...
I did try to like keep some things, but then the janitor's closet like wouldn't shut anymore, so I had to start throwing something away.
Well, I imagine you did the door stuffing method where you did successfully close it, but if you were to open it, just...
Oh, yeah.
We've run out of closets on like the 5th floor at this point. Like it's just, there's nothing left.
Just closets filled with trash.
I want to say that I like probably disassembled a few chairs to try and make like some sort of like training double so that I could like punch something and like it spins or like, you know, something makeshift.
As time has passed and property has been damaged, 2 weeks have accumulated, and Ryuji is released from the Cain ICU with a fresh new stomach lining. The Cain approved medical clinic, I imagine it as like a very cold concrete underground bunker. There's no warmth in this place. It's located underground. You don't know where it is. They just like picked you up after the mission. You hopped in like the SUV that Makoto showed up in. You passed out due to your wounds, and then you just ended up in a blank white hospital gown. in a like blank room, like white sheets, just very minimalist. There's like a poster on the wall and it just says "hang in there," but there's no picture of cats or anything like that. It's just the Cain logo. It's just the fist in the stone.
That's so funny.
Yeah, there is nothing here. This shit sucks. Your room doesn't even have a separate bathroom. The toilet is in the corner. There is nothing separating you from anything. The one little luxury you have is this is a private space, and you are not sharing it with anyone else.
Humiliating. Absolutely humiliating. I've been here for a little bit. I've been awake for maybe the last three and a half days. Inside this room, on the bedstand next to me, are some meds, standard painkillers, and antipsychotic, probably. There's also a pile of books. One of them is an architecture book. The other is a copy of the Bible. I mean, it's a Dutch translation of the Bible, so I can't read it, but it's a copy of the Bible. And there are also some things I requested. I asked for information. I received a missive.
In regards to what?
Yes, good question. I received a missive informing me that after that hunt, my category had gone up, and I asked for some basic information on the people in my division. I just want to know who they are. Who saved my life?
Would everyone like to share what they are comfortable sharing in reference to, like, what is, like, some basic, like, facts about you, like height, weight, eye color, hair color, age, background, and blasphemy type?
You would learn very, very basic facts about Connell, like a list where it's like flux user, about 22 years of age, grew up in remote village within the mountains. No address, of course, or like name, but and then very artistically gifted is jotted down, but also strange comes right after that.
As your eyes wander, you see Phan's file, you see Connell's file. Your own file was given to you just for posterity's sake. They just threw it in there. However, as you begin to press over Ivy's file, you open it, and it is all redacted. There is a picture of Ivy with black bars covering their eyes. It has name, age, and that is it. Nothing else is visible.
Does it have Ivy's last name?
It's not.
Right, I close that, and I'm sort of just poring over it. Who's coming to get me?
Probably someone who is horrifically underpaid, and someone who just desperately wants you not to be there anymore. You are taking up...
Is Makoto not picking me up?
Makoto is not picking you up. Why would
Interesting.
Makoto be picking you up?
She's my handler.
I mean, she delivers like onigiri, so I thought this would be within her detail, but...
No, she is just your boss. Unfortunately, she is not there to pick you up from the facility itself because you are still on the inside of it. But I'm assuming you're like, collecting your things, maybe like patting the Bible on the way out, just sort of getting like a look-see of everything. And as you step out into the hallway, you see just a hallway that appears to go down for like 3 miles to the point where you can't see the end of it, and it's just rooms upon 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 rooms. And you look down at the floor and you see a little red arrow just pointing to the left.
I follow it.
Yeah, you begin to walk, and you follow this arrow, and the place you're in doesn't make sense physically, in the sense of when you look behind you, you see a hallway ever expanding, just continuing into the darkness, right? To the point where it appears to curve down with the horizon. But you walk for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes until eventually reading a door that just says outpatient forms and treatment. and you see nothing else. Just more hallway that spans in front of you.
I will very politely set my stuff down. I've been given, a replacement button-up, so I have that along with my old coat on. It's still dirty. I'm wearing my slacks as normal. All doesn't fit me still. Have my briefcase in hand. I'll very politely take a pen from the desk, sign my name, fill out all the forms, just leave it there. And I think I just whisper into the desk, "Thank you," and then go to leave.
Yeah. As you do that, you fill out the, required forms just suspiciously left on the table for you as you walk out the swinging double doors, and you find yourself in the middle of Tokyo. Just in the middle of everything. Almost as if you have exited from a place that has no real bearing in the real world. You find yourself in the middle of Shinjuku Scramble Crossing. Just in the center of a wave of people, just walking all around you.
I'm standing there, surrounded by crowds. It's almost overwhelming after the last 2 weeks. This used to be normal. I used to be a part of this crowd, and then suddenly apparating here, I think it hits Ryuji for the first time just how abnormal the rest of his life is going to be.
You look around the area, just surrounded by the sea of humanity, gleaming around the buildings until eventually, looking up at a viewing window for the crossing, a common people-watching destination. And you see a familiar face sitting in the cafe window, sipping on an iced latte. You see familiar green hair and an extremely recognizable eye patch as Makoto is just waiting, and she gives you a little wave.
Well, I dust myself off. I straighten my tie. And I will walk into the cafe, and instead of making eye contact, I will just walk straight up to the counter and start to instinctively go to order a coffee. I will say, hi, hope you're doing okay. Could I just get a black coffee? And then I begin to pat my pockets and realize I have no money.
And Makoto just sort of walks up next to you, throws roughly, I want to say, 200 to 300 yen in coins down on the countertop, slides it forward as you, receive a just drip coffee.
Thanks. Pick up my briefcase again, take my coffee. Look at Makoto.
Yeah, you look at her, and she looks back at you, and just sort of gives you a knowing smile, in the sense where it's you look into her eyes, and you can tell that, this sort of out-of-body experience, this almost removal from the world that you experienced was something she's dealt with before.
Is this seat taken?
No, not at all.
I will sit down at the seat right across from her at her little table, her little cafe table. I'll set my briefcase down. I have a bunch of files on my division members in my pocket. I just set those on the table, and I take sips of my coffee.
She looks at you and looks down at the files and just sort of puts one finger on top of the stack and sort of slides it across the countertop over to her before picking them up, tapping them into a manila folder, and sealing them closed with a little red thread. As she sets them down on the countertop, words begin to emblazon themselves on them, kanji, that just read rudimentarily from what you can briefly make out before she slips them into her own briefcase. You see "do not touch" in big, bold red kanji. She sort of smiles at you and just says, I thought I'd humor you a little bit. And I was the reason you were allowed to look through these. But if you pull that kind of thing again without asking me, there will be consequences.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was asking the right people.
No, everything goes through me. All requests go through me. All requisitions go through me. All script goes through me. There is not something that you and your teammates do that I do not know about.
Right.
Is that clear?
Yeah, was this not approved by you?
It was.
Oh, great.
I'm offering you
Wonderful.
this one little kindness, and I'm asking you not to look into this again. Is that clear?
Ryuji just kind of stares at her for a moment, making eye contact. It's the kind of thing that you would mistake for a 1,000-yard stare. Like his wide, earnest eyes are somehow looking through her, or somewhere else. But he smiles and goes, Oh no, ma'am, I perfectly understand. You think this is me prying? Oh, I'm not prying. Because the people in those documents, they are my coworkers. I mean, I work for Cain. That's my job, right?
I understand you're not necessarily fully familiar with the process of everything, and how necessarily things work here.
I take another sip of my coffee. I wasn't familiar before, but now I am. I thought this was a job before, but now I understand that it is the work. It's the work. Because the things like those exist, and we have to kill them. So when I say this is my job and they are my coworkers, I don't mean that it's back to normalcy. Nothing will ever be normal again, but I know that this is the work until the stain is wiped away.
And you see her stern expression sort of softens. And she sort of stands up, dusts herself off, just on her suit pants, just a nice little 1-2. She pats you on the shoulder and says, I'm glad we have an understanding.
We always did, ma'am.
Just, for future reference, and she just sort of points to the cup of coffee, next time you're going to need the, allowed substances package. I'm sure you have the script for it. And she just sort of stands up and pulls out some car keys from her pocket. Let's head back to the office, shall we? And then she just sort of begins to walk out of the cafe.
I smile, pick up my suitcase, and down the rest of my coffee and follow her.
Wonderful. You enter a car and begin to drive back to the division. Makoto sitting in the back seat with you as well. Silence as rain falls upon Tokyo. Until eventually you see the familiar front steps of Division 12 as you walk up the steps, and you see the glass doors. You see Makoto trailing behind you, briefcase in hand, papers with her, as you open the door and step inside. Would everyone like to describe just what this looks like to an outsider? Like, what's happened here?
First of all, you will see that brazenly hung up on the roof is happy 40 years at HR, because there was nothing else they could hang up to welcome Ryuji back.
There was no paint or ink or anything.
It just says
That's all it
happy
says.
40 years at HR because it's like they stole it from another part of the derelict office. So it's hung
Wonderful.
brazenly hung up. I imagine on the floor there's a bunch of garbage. And if there isn't, it looks like it's been swept under the beds or has been noticeably removed from Ivy's area, I imagine. But Phan and Connell's area is just abysmal. It's disgusting. There's just a bunch of garbage everywhere.
What I imagine is like Ivy's bed and like in like a 10-foot radius is like clean,
and encircled
perfect.
it.
And then in the rest of it's just like
Encircled in a
parts
bunch
of a
random trash.
microwave,
Yeah.
parts of a made up drum,
Ramen
just, like,
packets.
You walk in, and she sort of like looks around, and Ryuji, you're right next to her. You feel the sort of like calm demeanor that she had after that mutual understanding you two had above the scramble sort of melt away into slight irritation as you can notice the underfolds of her eye patch sort of begin to twitch. So, what's going on with all the stuff on the floor, everyone?
You do see Phan turn to look at Ryuji as she squints her eyes and tries to remember his name. Santori? No, that was the whiskey you kept talking about.
No, Phan, she was asking what's the deal with the garbage.
Huh?
This place looks absolutely filthy.
Well, a lot of stuff was broken, so I've been fixing it.
Phan calls it fixing.
Oh, and you were fixing it all over the floor.
Well, the microwave wasn't heating correctly, the ice tray was broken in the refrigerator, the light in the break room was pretty flickering.
I just look at Makoto.
You can just like mentally see her like quell something inside of her as Makoto's patience is going to tick up by 1.
Oh, and Makoto, did you bring what I ordered? I wrote down the proper forms. I don't usually do forms, but do you have the package?
You spent the required script, I'm assuming?
I did. I put it in the envelope. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do that, but I did that.
Yep, no, you are good. Let me just double check everything. I have requested indulgences for you, the sanctioned ones, and then also looks like the off-clipping of... Oh, okay, yep, for sure. I will handle that for you. Anyone else looking to purchase anything while I am here? I can help you file the prospective paperwork, and I will have that dropped off later today.
I actually also got some indulgences. The package might be kind of big, though.
I'm just not going to question that, and I'll just see what they give me. Ryuji, I'm assuming you haven't filled out any of the paperwork, but feel free before I head out later today. I will help you look at that. And Ivy, did you get anything, or are you saving up?
I'm gonna keep my money.
Okay. Little out-of-character explanation. For anyone who is confused, script is the currency that exorcists earn by completing hunts and jobs. It allows them to purchase sanctioned indulgences, such as cigarettes, shitty coffee, and the occasional mid-beer. As well as one-time consumables that can be used to potentially extend the use of powers. The more that you spend, the better the rewards are. The higher the quality of life goes.
But yeah, Ryuji, welcome back. I hope you're okay.
I feel great. I feel wonderful. Thank you, Makoto-san. Well, this place is a mess, but nothing we can't clean up. Are you taking your leave? I look over to Makoto.
Yes, she does sort of like look around and she goes, yes, I do believe I will be taking my leave soon. I just wanted to drop you off back here and I will leave you to it. I will return with the requested stuff that you guys have spent your script on, and I will ideally be returning with an assignment for you now that the team is back at full strength.
Wonderful.
And she just sort of like looks around. Does anyone need anything of me before I leave? I trust that this situation, and she like sort of gestures at the trash, will be handled by the time I return.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Good. And she sort of claps her hands together. That simplifies things. Well, I will be on my way. And she just sort of does a 180, like, heel point turn and just walks straight towards the doors, out to the SUV waiting for her.
That went well.
I turn to the others and I go, I hope you've all had a very productive last 2 weeks. Anyway, it's time to clean. We should really get everything cleaned up. I'll take out the vacuum cleaner. I'll hand walk over to the pretty much the storage closet from before that had all of my stuff in it. Throw it open.
As you open the storage closet, you throw open this closet in the building that you have like paced around in. Your home for the past 3 months, I believe. You watch as bits and pieces of like the building from every floor. No surface has not been touched by just this like ravenous scavenging. It's like opening like a raccoon's nest as it just all falls out onto the floor in front of you.
Well, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Everyone take a side, and we'll all begin cleaning, and then hopefully in the next couple days, this place will be presentable enough for when we get our next assignment. I'm going to go fill out those forms. I walk over to Phan. I hold the retrofitted vacuum cleaner out, and I go, will you do the honors?
Well, the suction didn't work before, but it works now, so... Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Connell.
Yeah, got it.
Could you... I hand you a broom that is falling apart that I extracted from the closet. And, Ivy, there is a dumpster behind this. I'm assuming you are strong enough to start picking things up and just chucking them out there.
Yeah, if you can put stuff in bags, I can bring them down.
Sure. Someone else can do that. I need to fill out some forms. So I'll be down to help you all just in a bit.
Okay.
I take some of the forms that Makoto gave me. I'll begin to take those, put them in my briefcase, and just walk down very officiously. And I go, great to see you guys again.
What's business guys riled up about?
Probably having a hole in his stomach.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
Wasn't this also like his home for like a few months?
Sounds like for quite a few months. I mean, you two pretty much trashed the place.
I kind of forgot he was around here since he left.
Well, I can't say I didn't miss him.
Let's try to clean the place up. Hopefully he'll get a little less stressed after it's cleaned.
Yes. But, you're filling out the forms, you're looking at the options. What's speaking to you right now?
I am going to order 2 things right now, and then I'll let the third be a secret. So I am going to order a cash card, which just has a small amount of allowance for small mundane objects, stuff like buying a coffee. And then I will get a sanctioned indulgences for putting in specifically on order for just a small crate of not only non-spoiled instant coffee mix and stuff like that, but also those energy drinks that I really like. Regain, with the yellow and black bottle. I will send all that, fill out the form, put it in a small manila envelope, of which in this office building there are aplenty. Go to seal it, and I'll just look back. I'll move down from the higher office floor that I'm on back onto the dorm floor and sort of look through at the rows and rows of empty beds. This one having, table, legs ripped off of the beds and, blankets tied between, weird stakes that have been set up. And then he just takes a deep breath. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. And, begin to take the manila envelope in his suitcase back down to the floor that they're cleaning things up in.
Wonderful. You drop the files in a little box, and instead of hearing the sound that you would be pretty used to as a businessman of paper hitting the bottom of a Dropbox, you instead hear nothing.
I will go ahead and join them.
Wonderful. You join in the cleanup effort. This is probably going to be just like a little 5-6 hour task as everyone just sort of gets to work and handles stuff. Everything is clean and tidy and handled.
I'll look up at Connell as I'm like helping him clean, like pick through the stuff that is just pouring out from the closets, and I go, Connell, I didn't thank you from before for, well, saving my life, I guess? Yes, you saved my life.
Yeah, saving your life. It comes with the job, I guess. I couldn't bear to, watch you go like that. Glad I was able to pull you out just in time.
Right.
Time.
Yeah. I guess I got a little too into it.
Well, was that the first time you used your powers?
No, not the first time. But it's the first time I've had to use my powers like that. I think. Well, I've only ever used my powers before in a very controlled environment. I mean, but this one, back in that controlled environment, they were just testing me, but it felt like life or death, but this one was really life or death,
Yeah, it was the real deal. It can be pretty scary, I guess. I don't know. My powers in nature allow me to avoid a lot of those more risque type deals, depending on the sin, of course. But I'm glad you lived.
Yeah, I'm I'm glad you were there to make sure I lived. Question, Connell, have you fought sins before?
No. Not really. Funny enough, the only people I've ever encountered or things of this nature are other people with our kind of power. Wish I could say every encounter I've had with people like us were good.
Right. Other exorcists.
Well, not exorcists, no.
Oh.
There's a reason Cain exists, Ryuji. It's to make sure that people that aren't like us, or at least don't move forward with the noblest of intentions, they keep them in line.
Right, I mean, the line between us and one of those things, I mean...
It's thin.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess it's just also same policy in terms of how I use my powers against sins or even people. You stop it when something you don't like isn't happening, and you undo it if something you don't like is happening.
So you just, so you can go back. You can... If something happens that you don't like, you can just choose to go back.
Ryuji, I did see you die. But I chose the timeline where you don't.
And Ryuji smiles and goes, well, I'm very glad you did. Good work, Connell.
Yeah, put it there. He swings his hand out.
Firm handshake.
But yeah, don't worry. Every time I'm faced with that decision, I'll always choose you guys. Don't sweat it.
Right. Well, everything in business is give and take. so I hope one day I can return the favor.
Oh, indeed. Your powers are really awesome, though. I think they're definitely of use to save some lives, that's for sure. You just notice, Ryuji, that he is staring completely through you. He is not... His eye contact is completely empty. You notice that there is no acknowledgement behind those eyes, because you imagine that... and as he looks past you, he's observing something that isn't there. No one is behind you, but he's looking through many different things that could have happened or have already happened.
Well, I imagine the possibilities for the way this office could look can't be much worse. But, it's looking more like an office already.
Yeah, at least it's not a pigsty. Sorry for messing up the place. I guess we got too comfortable.
Right. Should be careful not to do that.
Phan, can we keep it to one object fixed at a time now?
Oh, they all need different problems and things with them, and they'll ask for different times, and things go wrong all the time, so...
I'm gonna finish cleaning up on this side and walk over to Phan and be like, Phan, I appreciate you tending to the objects here, but I believe I have to strongly iterate to you that this is company property, and dismantling it can mean bad things for all of us.
I mean, I'm for sure taking better care of it than Cain does.
Yes, but they don't see it that way. So... I would appreciate it. I'm not your boss. But I would appreciate it.
You see, she goes back to what she was doing and just mumbles, uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe we should just try with that appointment schedule.
So, place has been cleaned. We have reclaimed division number 12. Objects have been put back in place. The refrigerator, vacuum cleaner, microwave, and everything else Phan happened to get her little hands on has been fixed. And you guys spent a while cleaning, and it was about midday when Ryuji came home, right around lunchtime, so about 12 to 1, that general time period. And you all called it, not wanting to chance things. I'm assuming everyone sort of heads to bed at their usual time. No one's sleeping in until 3 in the afternoon. I'm assuming everyone's asleep by 10 to 12-ish. You are all minding your business, the sounds of rain falling on the Tokyo streets outside. Monsoon season has just begun, and it all sort of begins to pick up. Until, eventually, the serene silence of the night is broken by the sound of the front door unlocking and the distinct click of Makoto's shoes across the floor. You two sort of stir to life, the serenity of the outside world broken by the sounds of Makoto entering the building. You hear the turning on of lights downstairs with that distinct hum as an entire floor below you begins to come to life, the sockets whining with power. Until eventually you hear a light 1, 2, 3 raps on the entrance to the stairwell of the room you are all staying in, as the door opens and a beam of light pours into the room. You see Makoto fully dressed up in her full work outfit, however, drenched in rain. No umbrella, no cigarette with her. She walks up to you, folder in hand, and lays it on the table in front of you, turning on the lights as she goes. Okay, we gotta wake up. It's not the best timing, but everyone's here. And since we're at full strength, I have something for you.
Wait, business lady, what's going on?
I'll hop off the top bunk and just go for the folder immediately.
Mm-hmm. Phan, as you roll around and you hear Ivy make contact with the floor solidly, you look around, you look at the clock, and it says 2:30 in the morning. You begin to flip through the dossier, Ivy, and in front of you, you see a couple of names. Names unimportant, You completely skim past them in this like sort of twilight of half sleep that you found yourself in. You begin to read aloud. Two executives from a subsidiary known as Kuroshi Petrochemical have died to mysterious circumstances. Now, normally, this wouldn't be enough to warrant your involvement, especially at an hour such as this, early in the morning as it may be. However, these disappearances are coinciding with reports from Kuroshi Petrochemical employees on an oil rig in the South Japan Sea, sort of just like looking at things. Normally we wouldn't bring it to you in a situation like this, but it's still working. We believe the sin host is an ogre. It's a category 3, and we believe the host is a 36-year-old female by the name of Ueno Yoshiko.
Did you at least bring my Quipoth and cigarettes?
You hear the distinct thud of just packages and boxes hitting the floor.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes, I did. It was actually sent out, or was supposed to be delivered tomorrow morning, but I figured, since I'm coming here, what the hell? I apologize, the cigarettes might be a little bit wet. As you can see, she's like kind of visibly dripping.
Fuck.
Phan walks over to a massive crate as she pops open the top, and it is filled to the brim with candy.
Wonderful.
Well, that'll do it.
I turn over to Makoto, like still squinting my eyes. It's early even for me. And I go, "Why did you come here by yourself?"
I was on call. The driver is outside, or he's here to pick me up. I had to run here. As you know, the trains aren't operating at this hour because it's 2:30 in the morning. She looks very visibly tired.
I'm like trying to get a bead on her. Like, why did they have her run down as our handler to deliver us something that could have been delivered by any random lackey at 2:30 in the morning?
That is a great question, and one you will not find the answer to while looking at Makoto's soaked green hair and pantsuit.
Okay. I've been looking through the papers.
You look down at this piece of paper. This isn't enough to, tell that this is specifically an ogre, right? You're like, what is giving this away? And you flip the page, and you see a satellite image of Shinjuku Crossing. A thick fog entirely settled over this area. You all know that, it's typhoon season. This is not normal. A fog like this settling in the middle of the city. This is extremely strange. Makoto goes on. We believe it's a miasma of some kind, leading us to think that it is an ogre. Seer tried to poke around, but unfortunately, this one is a bit interesting. We can't exactly get the best read on it. This is the most up-to-date working information that we have. The reason I'm calling you now is because this fog has started seeping out from the subway tunnels, and that puts a bit of a clock on things. We need this to get handled as soon as possible, preferably before all of Tokyo decides to wake up in 5 to 6 hours and tries to ride the busiest metro system in the world. Am I clear?
Understood.
Crystal. Alright, everyone. Up and ready to go.
Wait, we're just Cat 2 and you're placing this on us?
It's our job.
You are on call, and other exorcists are doing other important things. You aren't paid to question, you're paid to kill.
We're barely paid at all.
Phan! Out of bed!
Very begrudgingly gets up.
Also, if the subway system's fucked, then we don't get to use it anymore, and I don't want that.
I have a car lined up for you to go to the crossing, and I trust you will have this handled as soon as humanly possible.
Sounds good.
And she's fiddling with a very damp cigarette in between her fingers, just trying to get it to light.
You could probably light a flame on your
Yeah, I was about to say,
fingertip.
can I like walk over to her and light it with my like finger?
Yeah, it sparks instantly, and you see a soft smile form on her lips.
And then I'll
Anyway.
like walk out to like go change somewhere that's like not a common area, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You all change and get ready and begin to, I would say start the day, but this is definitely still evening, so you begin to quest out into the night. In front of you sits a black SUV, and as you all hop into the back seat, you see Ryuji hopping into the back with you, looking much nicer.
He has a fully personally tailored suit, with a black tie as well. He has 2 cufflinks that have sort of spiral patterns on them. And on the embroidered into the front breast pocket is the kanji that you saw before on his briefcase, which just says Kai, meaning destroy.
Oh my god. Get a load of this young professional.
Thank you. I mean, it's time to go to work, right? Time to look like a professional.
Yeah, I gotta get some better digs myself, but let's get going.
Toss you a bottle of Regain. There was instant coffee, but it takes too long to make.
Yeah. Can we smoke in here?
Please don't.
The front, like, partition between the, driver's side and passenger seat rolls down, and you just see Makoto sitting in the front seat with a lit cigarette just go, no, and then she pushes it back up. And you all drive to Shinjuku Scramble. The car, however, stopping roughly a mile from the location as this, like, thick fog begins to sort of waft out and become visible to you. The car stops, doors facing the fog, as Koto steps out and opens the door. I've got some leads I'm going to follow regarding this investigation. You will be hearing from me if I find any new information.
Reluctantly, Connell steps out into the rain. Oh yeah, Ryuji, no!
You see, actually, the rain lands on the suit, and it forms into little beads upon the shoulders. This seems to be somewhat water resistant.
It's a good suit.
Good luck out there. And she just closes the door. You step into this fog, and the scent of something bitter and gross hits the back of your throat, mixed with what you can sort of taste as what you assume to be like salt water of some kind. But there's a difference to it, something like heavy, something grimy about it as you begin to walk further. Does anyone have any lit cigarettes at this point? Is anyone actively smoking or anything like that?
I do think, yeah, Connell has started smoking his by now.
Connell, you are smoking your cigarette, and as you walk deeper into the fog, first it only going up about an inch on the soles of your ill-fitting shoes, eventually going up to your ankles, and then low parts of your shin, you feel this intense ill-contentness, this emptiness inside of you as you look down at your cigarette, and the light is just, it's dimmer. It's not as bright as it was about 20 minutes ago when you first sparked it up, and that little rush of nicotine you get from it it's dulled in the sense where you're having to take twice as many puffs to get that same feeling as you just begin to walk further and further into the fog.
Oh fuck, this shit doesn't work. He just ashes it there.
Can I add too? I think that Phan is chewing on one of the pieces of candies, and as she's sort of chewing it in her mouth, she begins to get a sour look on her face as she spits it on the ground.
You look down at the ground, and what was once a bright, colorful orange piece of candy is nothing more than just black sludge, just bile that you've spit from your gums, almost like tobacco chewing gum.
Like dirt or something.
It looks like this sin's got something to do with indulgent shit you like.
Can we see anything in the fog? Or is it just completely, no visibility whatsoever?
Ryuji, you were here less than 24 hours ago. All mentions of life and nightlife are completely disappeared from this area. but it is suspiciously dead. You look around in the fog, expecting there to be people, expecting the buzz and the light, but everything is just off. In the sense of the neon lights aren't shining as bright as they used to, the automated loudspeakers playing advertisements are crackling and ever so slightly broken. You feel a cold gust of wind on your back, and as you turn around, where the car was originally visible, the SU with Koto, is now completely obscured by fog in the distance. Your visibility going from roughly 200 feet in front of you when you first walked in, down to 150, down to 100, down to 50, to the point where it's very hard if either of you, or if anyone in this group strays more than 20 to 30 feet from each other, you might lose them in the fog. This thick, all-consuming substance. Connell, you look into the distance, and you swear you see movement in the fog. And you, stop, and you take a moment, and you glance at this, and you really look. But upon further inspection, it appears as if nothing was ever there in the first place.
I'm seeing something. The hell? Let's keep going.
Phan, are the streets telling you anything? Any objects nearby?
Am I hearing anything at the moment, even like a whisper?
Nothing. Sheer silence. For the first time in your life, your head is quiet.
I don't know what's happening.
I clock, Phan beginning to panic a little bit. Okay. Ivy, anything you can do? Can you get rid of the fog, condense it, anything?
I might. I will just, I don't know how, if I'm allowed to do this, but could I just, light my hand on fire?
I don't see any rule saying that you're not allowed
To light your hand on fire.
Well, I'm assuming I wouldn't get hurt by it, obviously, but, just to, as a torch type of deal.
What color light is emanating from your palm? Or what color light normally would emanate from your palm in a situation like this?
Probably just I'm pretty fine right now, so I would say just a normal orange flame, something that it's very mundane.
You expect an orange flame to come out from your hand. Instead, it is just a very light, very faint flicker. It's almost gray somehow. The orange and red that normally spikes from your flames when you ignite like this has been dulled. It's almost if someone took the vibrancy slider and just cranked it down a bunch of notches.
And the fog is coming from the subway? Is that what was said?
Yes.
Okay.
The fog is emerging from the subways.
To the subway, if we can figure out where that is.
Yeah, for sure. I believe, and out of character, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a scene change, ergo tension goes up
Yes.
1, correct? So we're at 1 tension, correct?
Yes.
You all continue to explore until eventually finding the subway station, which is why tension ticked up in the first place. You descend down into the subway station where the fog appears to be thickest, or where you can sort of surmise as you watch as it bellows up and out and under. The fog appears to be spilling in from the tunnels. And as you begin to venture out further onto the platform, fully exploring the space, you notice a train dead stopped in the middle of the platform to your left, and a completely open tunnel to your right.
A tunnel that's been already there, or it's been made into the subway?
No, a tunnel that's already there,
okay.
like a subway tunnel.
Well, I mean, trains aren't running. We can check this one if there are any, survivors.
You walk up to this train, and you see the front of it is just completely covered in blood. This wasn't visible as you walked into the station, but as you've like come down the stairs and like make that sort of left-hand turn to view the front where the driver's cabin would be, you see the entire front window covered in blood and hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of handprints.
Okay. Okay.
Shit. Fuck.
All right. We should.
Does it?
We should look, right? Because there could be people alive.
Yeah,
People.
and we also might be able to figure out if this is where it started. Does it look like at any point in the train that like someone violently forced their way out of it, or is it just like seamless?
Oh God.
There are like, aside from the blood on the front of the train, there's also like the visible like the glass has shattered, or not shattered, but do you know when you look at a pane of glass, reinforced glass, and something has impacted it and it's sort of like bowed in?
Oh, there's a bloom
from
on
the
it?
impact? Yes. The glass has sort of bloomed inward towards the cabin, blood seeping through the bloom into this like driver's area and the shape of a body.
Yeah, right, let's open it up. Connell places like one of his arms on one of the doors and waits for one of you to help him.
Okay. I'll walk up and try and help.
You thrust open the doors. All right, are we all stepping into the train?
Yep.
Indeed.
Anna's kind of tailing behind, like holding her hammer to her ear and like shaking it and like mumbling to herself.
You step into the train, and the tension will tick up by one. As the scene will shift. As the door behind you closes, you step into the train, the lights flickering on ever so slightly. A low hum beginning as the sound of crash, as the two doors shutter behind you. You turn around expecting to see maybe some broken glass or something like that, but the door you walked through has now disappeared. You look down the car, and you just see train after 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 train. It appears to go on forever. You can only see inside of the train at this current moment.
Oh, everything else is fog.
You cannot see outside of the train.
Wait, is this the palace? This can't be, right? We can't already be in the palace, right?
We would have known if we entered, right?
We have to answer 3 things before we can enter the palace.
No, we have to answer 3 things to create the nail, right?
Yeah,
Wait,
We could enter at any time, but surely we'd know, right?
we can know,
No,
right?
we're not-
I turn over
we're
to
not
Phan.
dead.
Phan, you would know.
No,
Would I know?
She's been in the dark. Ryuji, she's been in the fucking dark. She wouldn't know.
Business guy, we're fine, right?
Okay. Alright, well, there's only one way to go, and it's forward, right? A train, it's a straight line. It's easy. We know
Ryuji,
exactly where to go.
Sins have powers outside of their own palaces. They can still do stuff. Perhaps this one is just trying to fuck with us, okay?
Okay.
Ogres, as I know it, aren't really like the fucking with type. They're not doing this for fun. They're deeply sad individuals.
Maybe this is a measure to keep us away from them. I don't fucking know. Maybe this is a misdirect.
A misdirect. This is maybe a barrier? Or is it a cage?
Don't know. Well, here, let's make sure of that. Connell's gonna feel where the door used to be to make sure there's no illusion. Is it just wall?
It is just pure train wall and window, and bench and seat and pull. It's almost like the door was never there in the first place. Upon closer examination, it would be insane to think there was even a door here at all. You turn around, and you see the door to where the train conductor would be. And you can see the blood and the outline of a body.
Alright, well, we start behind us, and then we go
Indeed.
forward.
Seems as good a place as any.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to the door.
You open the door, and right as you expect the scent of gore and viscera to hit your nostrils, you are immediately transported to where you were standing 30 seconds ago, inside of this train.
I'm like standing behind you guys.
Well, where the fuck? Ah!
Interesting. That's
Okay.
weird.
What just happened?
I walk forward and go to open the door again.
The same thing happens.
Okay. Alright. Turn around. Train's still the same. Everything's still the same.
They stay the same.
Okay, let's not play with that anymore. I'd be a little concerned of you accidentally looping yourself into the moment you're looping, and you're just gonna get put there forever. So let's not mess with that door anymore.
Right. Time. Time
Yeah.
and stuff.
This
Okay,
seems like
well-
it's in my wheelhouse.
Right, well, there's only one direction we can go. So...
Well, hold on a second. I can get through this. Connell's gonna approach the door right before touching it. Alright. I'm gonna see if I can glean anything in here. He is going to... you guys watch as he begins to tap his foot. He keeps tapping as his head is down. It seems like he's listening for something. He's like, ah! He cracks his knuckles, and he is going to use Time Stop. He reaches into like a Terran reality as he cracks his knuckles. He pulls it. As he pulls it, it's like tearing down a curtain of reality, and he is now within his own stop time. And let me roll my psychic burst to see how long it lasts. So 3 seconds. So during stop time, no abilities take precedent anymore. So he's gonna try the door during stop time and see what's in there.
You, I'm assuming, walk up to the door, open the door, step in. That's 1 second. You begin to look around at your surroundings. In the 2 seconds you have in this room before time resumes, you see what you would assume to be a body, but you see a corpse just covered in black pitch, what you can only describe as tar, cigarette ash, and congealed blood, as well as the deep scent of sea air. And as you're taking all of this in, you suddenly find yourself once again standing behind the group.
Huh. Wait a minute. I can cheat this. Connell's gonna wait exactly 27 seconds until he's back in stop time, and he's gonna try the door again.
You open the door after waiting 27 seconds, attempt to step in to try and re-smell that sea air, that pitch, that bile, and you find yourself behind the group once again.
27 seconds, but it didn't work. So this isn't time. It's space.
Not time. It puts you back over here, it seems.
Right, so... I look over to where the door used to be and now no longer is, and I go, spatial manipulation. Okay. Right, we can work with that. This thing manipulates space.
Yeah. Good piece of information to learn. Glad it's not an actual time loop.
Right. Well, that makes it less dangerous.
As this conversation is occurring, you feel a violent shudder beneath you, as the windows outside were already incredibly obscured by thick smog, fog-like smoke. It begins to become more and more dense as it starts to push in on the windows itself. This pressure of this gas almost like bowing in the subway car, as you feel a lurch underneath your feet, and the lights above you begin to dim as the car starts to move forward ever so slightly beneath you. The only light now illuminating the space is coming from the back of Ivy's hands.
Okay, Ron, we need to start moving. We need to start moving now.
Let's get going.
Where are we going?
The only way!
And I would like to note that there is a talisman with the name of Malicious Intent that has hit the field with 1 slash in it as this resolves. And I believe this is going to rack up a tension resetting that to 0, and we were going to go up on 1 pressure. The train lurching beneath you, you are completely unable to see the fog outside of the windows at this point. The only light coming from Ivy. As you begin to run down this train corridor, Ivy, you are a very fit woman, I would say, right? You do your exercises, you do your workouts. You have been able to run with flame on your hand before. This has been a non-issue, but as you sprint with your squad mates down this corridor, the ground, you feel these vibrations of this train rolling beneath you as you keep running further and further and further. The train would have realistically stopped by now, but there's only cars and cars and cars and cars in front of you. You swear in the back of your mind, at the base of your ears, you hear something, and it sounds like a door unlocking somewhere. And in that moment of the door unlocking, the light on your hands goes out. This guttural sound is behind you. You all hear this too, this guttural sound. You look behind you and you see nothing but darkness, just the inkiest black. Ivy, however, when you turn around, would you like to describe what you see in the dark?
I see my mother's face, tears rolling down her cheeks, looking me dead in the eyes, looking into my soul. And I just stop moving. And then the tears become blood, and the screams sound more and more like hers the day she died. And I just fall to the ground.
You feel this intense pang in your chest and at the base of your skull, almost as if something you were never supposed to see was made manifest. This deepest desire, this most hidden act, this thing from your past has come to haunt you. And as you hit the ground, the light on your hands reignites, and you take 1 stress.
Shit. Ivy, are you okay?
Shit.
Gonna rack up the tension 1, and malicious intent is gonna get 1 more.
Here, Ivy, let's get you to your feet. You alright?
She like flinches from your touch, and like the flames sort of like go up her forearms too, so like you can't like touch her.
Hey, Ivy, you good? You still with us?
Is the face still there?
You turn around and there's nothing in the darkness.
There was nothing here, though. Why did we stop?
Was that an attack? What was that?
What happened?
Okay, let's just get you up, okay? Up.
Yeah,
Right.
we should keep moving and not spend any more time here.
I don't want to be here.
The work isn't done yet. Come on.
I'll stand up.
Mm-hmm. You stand up, dust yourself off, and I'm assuming you start jogging again. As you move further down this train, though, as it rumbles beneath you, all light separated from you and your body, the haunting feeling of something unlocking and something being acutely aware of where you are and what you've done sort of washes over you. You jog for 30 more seconds until eventually, out of nowhere, fog begins to appear in the train. As you reach this fog, you run further and further and further until the point where it is entirely impossible for you all to see each other. You have to navigate by touch. Who's leading at this point?
I'm in front of Ivy. Definitely, at this point.
Okay. Ryuji, you are like running through this fog, but this run has been reduced to a jog as you literally can't see what's in front of you. You've been so used to just running that you are completely have the wind knocked out of you as you run face first into a wall.
Warn me next time. Ow.
Sorry, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Are we done? Did we reach the end?
I just reach back, feel around for Ivy's forearm and just gently hold it. I'd be like, okay. This is it. I'll reach forward with my other arm and pat against the wall I just ran into.
You pat against the wall you ran into, you tap down, until eventually finding a door handle. As you open it up and step into the driver's cab of the train.
Alright, finally.
Back where we started, but we've made more progress than before.
That is going to be the malicious intent talisman cleared off the board. You walk into this room and you look down, and Ivy, you're a bit of a pyro, I would say, correct?
Yeah.
You walk into this room and you smell the unmistakable scent, as some might think it's pitch and a combination of seawater. It could be all of those things, but you smell oil. And you look down at this body. And there's a briefcase next to it. And an ID badge.
Yeah, fuck it. I grab it.
Scoop that badge.
You pick up the badge, and it is covered in oil and blood and viscera. It's gross. There is no name visible on it. However, you can see Kuroshi Petrochemical written on it, along with a magnetic strip on the back of it as well. This card, it looks like it was damaged in some way, like it was almost burnt. Like you can feel the rough edges of the plastic as it was distorted by uneven amounts of heat and pressure. And you look down at this unnamed corpse, and you're like, okay, that's one of the executives right there. That fits the MO.
Well, we found our guy.
Well, do you think the other one could have turned Sin?
The other one?
There were 2 executives that went missing.
Right. I'm gonna go for the briefcase and quickly open it and see what's inside.
You open this briefcase, and you see documents inside of this case. The case itself has no damage whatsoever. However, the documents inside are stained by seawater and salt and are burned and charred. And it just says, staff for the Kuroshi Sentinel.
You said that they were heavily damaged. There's a lot of parts that we can't read, right?
Yes.
Hey, Ryuji, right? And you kind of look in confusion as it's the first time she's actually said your name.
Yes, that's my name. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I'm Ryuji is me. Yeah. What?
Can I see those papers?
Sure. I sheath them all together, square them up against the ground, hand them out to you with both hands.
You watch as the damaged parts of the paper with like a almost like holographic psychic purple energy begin to form out spider webbing from the edges of the paper, reforming what had been destroyed. I'm not reading or seeing anything. I am hearing the words I need to hear and speaking them out like a translator.
Ah, okay.
That's because she can't read.
True. This is a callback. On December 31st, 19 redacted, there was a total system failure stemming from the drill head as it collided with a pocket of flammable glass at 44,000 feet below sea level. The gas pocket flowed up the drill and into the oil rig, where it sparked with faulty equipment, causing an explosion, killing 56 people and injuring 32. Below is a list of those names, along with the head engineers and chiefs of staff of the rig. You see a bunch of names for just people. It's like, head of, structural engineering, head of, what's another position on the oil rig? Head of, rig maintenance. And then, finally, something that finally sticks out to you. You see main drilling engineer, Ueno Yoshiko. And you look at the staff action report for this time and date of disaster on December 31st, and you see the list of active staff on rig at the time, and Ueno's not there. She's listed as off rig, along with about 20 other people.
She survived. It's survivor's guilt.
You think she got racked after the incident?
I mean, an ogre. If I remember the
the castle manuals correctly, I mean, an ogre it's crushing weight. It's depression, guilt, shame.
Hey, I've been thinking since we got here. Why would its domain be in a subway tunnel of all places? And usually trains stopping mean one thing. But it could be anything. It might just... I don't know, I'm sorry I said it. It was dumb.
No, I mean...
This great societal shame that not many people talk about sort of weighs heavy in the air as fog begins to seep back into the cabin where you all stand. You look around and you realize you are not on the train station anymore. You're not by the same platform. You are deep within the tunnels somewhere.
Spatial manipulation again.
She was trying to get us to turn around.
Keeping us away from something.
You can never move on, right?
Ivy, did that thing attack you? I mean, you were on the ground.
I saw someone.
You saw the sin?
No. I saw my mother.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is she conscious of all of our, I guess, families and stuff?
I guess that, raises more questions than answers them. What does this thing know?
You step out into the tunnel and immediately realize how warm that abandoned subway car you were in truly was. You feel the wind sort of like whipping against your skin, and you miss the warmth of the abandoned subway car as you begin to trudge down this empty subway tunnel. And this is a new scene, so we're just going to go tension one more. And as you walk down, you are in... There are no lights here, once again. Not lights that went out, it's just underground like this. There's no reason to have light. All the light comes from the trains. So Ivy, once again, you are the group's lifeline. I'm going to ask you a question, Ivy. Who, out of everyone here, has let you down?
Can I say myself? This is bad. I don't think anyone has let me down, because Ryuji quite literally took the cold bullet. If anyone has truly let me down, I really do think it would have been me, because I'm a very selfish person, and I quite literally hurt one of my own teammates for the sake of the mission, and I don't feel any remorse for it.
You feel this intense pain, this like weight that's being placed upon your shoulders.
That's rough. That's really
You
bad.
gave this to the crash out?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Ask an exorcist a question. Who in this group let you down? At any time the chosen person fails an action roll, the afflicted exorcist gains 1 non-lethal stress. However, if this is triggered at least once during a session, at the end of that session, gain 1 XP.
Shit.
Yay!
So anytime you fail yourself, you gain stress.
Chat, are we cooked?
And you continue to walk down this hallway, this intense weight placed by yourself upon to your own shoulders.
Ryuji, what do you think keeps this sin going?
Well, 2 executives. Dead or disappeared. We found one of their bodies. I mean, it's explosions and seawater. I mean, it must be some kind of vendetta, maybe?
Cutting corners. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people could be lost in these subways. I mean, did you see the streets of Shinjuku earlier? I mean, that place is supposed to be packed.
Yeah, not only that, I don't know how much time we got before the train's got to start running again.
If we find its palace, even if it's not there, we can summon it.
We need to hurry, especially if this thing's power is to bring us farther and farther away from where we're supposed to go. We have to hurry.
Yeah, let's pick up the pace.
Eventually, we will shift scenes, adding one more tension to the scale, and you will arrive at a tiny little corner. The rest of the subways have been entirely, similar. None of you are necessarily experienced with running around here, but there's this, little area where the fog appears to be spinning out from. There's a maintenance door off to the left, in the left side of the tunnel.
Well, this looks like our stop, huh? Sorry, not funny.
I thought it was funny, actually.
You didn't laugh, though.
No, it's funny because it's not a stop. It's a maintenance door in the middle of a trainway that someone committed suicide.
Yeah.
On second thought, it's actually not funny at all.
What kind of door is this?
I would say it's like a standard, metal door.
So, how do we want to do this? Are we going to kick the door down, or do you just want to open it?
I'm gonna push past Connell at the front, place my hand in the door, and just say open. As I use a psyche burst to use diplomacy.
And then we will roll risk for this, though.
Okay.
Oh no.
It's bad. It's not good. It's
Did
bad.
somebody say the sins behind the door?
Okay, so I am resonant, so I gain an extra dice. That's gonna be 2d6.
Maybe I can lock in. Come on. That's 6.
Is door better work?
Oh, that's 6!
Yeah,
Holy
not
fuck.
6.
And with an incredibly loud, reverberating thud, the door falls off of its hinges and just completely forward, just with a thunk as it hits the ground.
We're in.
Oh, okay.
Well done.
Wow, Phan.
Good shit.
Go up on tension and up on pressure.
I'm gonna look back at Ivy. How are they holding up? I'm just looking back at Ivy. I'm taking a cursory glance just back.
He doesn't look well. You can see that usually she holds herself up and has a straight back and she's very trying to put her best foot forward, but right now it looks like there's something actually weighing down her shoulders.
Yeah, as she steps through, I'm just gonna stop her for a second and go, "Hey, it's the work, okay?"
Yeah.
Yeah, the sooner we finish this, the sooner we get out of here.
Yeah, I can't wait to just smoke this whole pack when I get back.
Yeah, I want the candy to taste better.
This thing's hurting people. We do what we have to do.
We do what we have to do.
Until the stain is wiped away. Alright. I flare my jacket and begin to walk in. I'll take out 2 of my pens from my pocket and just silently use my blasphemy on them.
Mm-hmm. You walk into this maintenance shaft, and as you look down and around, you see just a small corridor, and it is almost entirely filled with fog as you walk forward. And I'm assuming you guys are all in one straight line at this point? You are not able to see each other through the fog at this point. You are only able to navigate by touch and by sound. As you stumble forward through the darkness, this fog appearing to have gotten thicker and more dense. The energy it takes for you to walk through this is immense. It's like you're wading through a snowdrift. It is pushing against you. It's the farther you walk in this, the more everything ceases to have meaning. Its colors are drained, your energy is taken away from you, and you feel your feet and your ill-fitting shoes and your knees and your back and your joints, they ache, and every step is hard. And you move until eventually you find a large door.
Let's assume that the Sin's in there and the fog's still up. How do we want to do this?
Look, we need some way to clear the fog. That's just a fact.
I'm not so sure if we're going to figure that out. As long as the Sin's alive, it seems like the fog's going to keep going.
Right, but, I think I may be able to create a way.
Okay. If we're going to figure a way to get rid of that fog, we'll be able to dispatch it way easier than like this. I can barely see you guys.
Right, I've never used it on this level, though, so you guys will just have to trust me when it comes to whatever happens.
I don't know if I can agree with that, but I don't really have any other options.
I don't think it's enough to hurt anyone, but, it may make things complicated. Though, it's just as equal of a chance for it to do something weird that I did not anticipate as making things a little bit easier? I don't know. I don't know how my abilities work.
Whoa. Ryuji, calm down. Deep breaths.
Okay, yeah, no. You know what? I'm just gonna look Phan in the eyes and go, I got you, okay?
Okay, remember, this is all for the company. If you do this, they're gonna be really happy.
Why the hell are we talking like we're gonna get appreciation from the company? I want to fucking live, damn it.
I'm just trying to make him feel better. I don't know. He likes that stuff.
Okay, yeah, no, fair. I appreciate it. I appreciate the attempt more than the actual, pep talk. But, okay, let's just go, okay?
This porthole door swings open and out, and you are faced with one of Tokyo's many megastructures. You look out at a giant water containment area, but instead of being filled with water, it is instead filled with fog and unknowable liquid. To your left stands a small desk with crumpled pieces of paper, writing, and lots of blood. And as you begin to survey it, if you could put the past hours behind you and you looked out over this area, you would think you're standing on top of a boat, looking out over the foggy ocean. Would you like to investigate the desk?
Been pulling out drawers, looking at the sheets. Any sheets, any records, anything like that.
Yeah, there are a bunch of pieces of paper, and they are an eclectic mix of things. You see official documentation relating to the disaster with the Kuroshi Sentinel, the casualty reports, and what was done with the salvage. You see it was all transferred to its sister rig by the name of the Pacific Spirit, the current oil rig that Kuroshi Petrochemical is using. You look around at this desk, and underneath the casualty report and everything else, you see scribbled into the desk itself with blood and oil, almost as someone's fingernails dragged this into the desk. My fault. Bastards. I'll kill them. Bastards. Just continue. It's just insane. And as you move more papers out of the way, you eventually see this trail of blood lead into one of the drawers on the right side of the desk, and you open it up. In sharp contrast to all of the other notes present before you, you see a piece of parchment, well crafted, well maintained, untouched by the filth and grime of this place. A single stain on its top left-hand corner. A drop of blood. It's penned in beautiful kanji. It reads as such. My suicide note. If you're finding this means I have attempted to take my own life. I can't continue to live with this guilt, this unbearable pressure placed upon me. Kuroshi Petrochemical sent me off rig so I could go visit my dying mother. On Christmas, of all days. Not even a holiday that I celebrate. I went home, and I was greeted by a corpse. A shell of my parent. And on this useless excursion, where I was gone, my arrogance led to the deaths of 56 people, and Kuroshi Petrochemical did nothing about it. As far as the public knows, it was an unplanned disaster. That won't stand. I need to do something. Things have been different since that day. As far as the public knows, this was nothing more than a mere accident. That wasn't the truth. They sent me off the rig, and they didn't replace me. They didn't send anyone to cover. I was only gone for a week, and this is what happened. Below you'll find a list of pertaining documents to the lack of maintenance upon the rig. If you're reading this, it's probably already too late. I hope I can do one good thing in my life, and bring justice. Signed, Ueno Yoshiko. Left under the piece of paper, you see maintenance that has been ignored deliberately by the company to try and save money. You notice that they diverted staff to the sister rig, away from the Sentinel, so they could begin more drilling operations because the Japanese government had granted them rights to do so. This intense grab for power, this overlooking of this one thing, and the head drilling engineer leaving for a week and them not willing to find a replacement. All of this is thoroughly documented right here. Annotated with Ueno's notes, bits and pieces. One little red note sticks out to you. The explosion caused so much damage, there was no evidence of the company's wrongdoing. I have to change that. And as you're looking at all of this, and reading all of this information, you look down at the floor, and you see black sludge accumulating by your feet.
I lift up my shoe, my new shoes. Is it caked to the bottom?
You, pull up your shoe, and it, brings up some of the sludge with you.
Okay, everyone move.
You look out and around at this area that you're in, and the black liquid spilling forth is coming from the ceiling door, the one that you opened.
Is there any way, what do we see upon this superstructure? Any corridors left, right, any way out, any other doors?
You do see a giant, catwalk that sort of expands forward, and it leads down. It eventually hits the water, or what you think is water, but definitely does not have the texture of it. As you look out away from where the goo is spilling in, this black liquid, you see catwalks stretching into the fog in the distance of this giant underwater holding tank. Who would be looking back at where the goo is coming from at this point?
I think I'm the furthest back in the group, while Ivy's forwarding, right?
Phan, as you turn around, as you watch Ryuji, Connell, and Ivy frantically look for somewhere to go as this torrent of liquid begins to pick up, you turn around, the door alerting you to the presence of something. You see a giant eye, much larger than that should be entirely possible. Bloodshot and blinking oil.
Without looking, who's standing in front of her? Is it Ryuji or Connell?
Probably
Maybe both of us?
Connell, or maybe both.
She, without even looking, grabs the back of your shirt and tugs it incredibly hard as she, with her other hand, is pointing at the door.
Oh, Jesus.
However, as you turn around, you hear a sharp crash as the sound of the light outside of the door explodes, and you can only see darkness and fog. Phan, what do you see in the darkness that Ryuji and Connell can't?
A door. There is, in the middle, a slit, like a prison window, able to open and close. It is been pushed to the side as a pair of piercing eyes are looking through it at her. As she is frozen entirely in fear, as her body begins to shake and tears well up in her eyes.
Phan, we gotta go!
It's another attack!
Alright, you gonna get her or shall I?
I got her. Go.
Alright.
Right, Phan, not the time! I'm going to, lift her up, start, fully, fireman's carrying her.
Ryuji, Connell, this is the second time in the span of maybe a few hours that one of your teammates has witnessed something horrific. Something in the darkness. As you descend into this giant, massive, open space, you run across the catwalks, descending further and further and further, below the layer of fog, until eventually reaching a small dock. On the dock, there's a tiny lifeboat, and in the distance, you see lights.
Alright, get in the lifeboat. We gotta fucking go. It's the only thing we have that floats.
I'm gonna go and, just gently lay Phan down in the lifeboat. Ivy, take care of her.
You hear groans, almost like something is trying to push itself through that small door that you went through.
Alright, it's coming.
You feel the boat begin to rise as you realize the level of liquid in this place is beginning to rapidly increase.
Does it have a motor on it, or is it paddle?
You gotta paddle this bitch.
I'll start paddling.
And you begin to row and row until eventually you hear a large bang and crash as the water or liquid level rapidly rises 5 to 10 feet, pushing you closer and closer and closer to what you think would be the ceiling. And you see it appearing, the fog getting closer and closer and closer, and as you're pushed up into the fog, instead of hitting cold concrete, you instead hit cold air. You paddle, and in the distance, you see a smoking oil rig.
It's so quiet that no one else will be able to hear beyond just the length of the boat. But under Phan's breath, heaving with tears, you can just hear mumbling incoherently, "Mom, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry, please."
I was rowing, but I'm gonna hand it to whoever isn't rowing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna see how she reacts to me touching her shoulder.
She, shudders her body at the side.
I'm gonna try and, keep eye contact with her. Phan, I know it's a lot. And I don't know what you saw, but it's clearly taking a toll on you. But you need to know that you're not wherever you think you are. You're not in a deep, dark place. You're here right now, and we need you right now.
You see her pupils dilate as she sits upright and almost lunges at you, placing her arms around you.
I'm gonna cry. I'm just gonna, embrace her back, and, I sort of, am hesitant to do so, but I end up, placing my hand on your head and, stroking, sort of, petting you, but,
The second you do, she immediately recoils as you see this almost look of, disgust and disappointment on her face. Her voice is starting to recover a little bit as I'm so sorry. I really didn't. I'm not supposed.
It's fine.
To.
While all of this is happening, Ryuji and Connell, as you're rowing the boat, you feel this intense unease. The closer you get to solid ground, the closer you get to this oil rig, kanji become to form. Underneath a thick layer of soot and rust, you see the Crucial Sentinel, written in big white letters on the side of the main oil tanker here. And as you are infatuated with this giant thing in front of you, you all feel this intense shudder as the boat begins to rock, and something very malicious. You row forward, eventually landing on the rig. You are here, battered by storms and waves.
Well, some fucking palace. Holy shit. How long do you think she's been here?
I mean, the last thing we fought was, Category 2, the Hound, but that was... I mean, compared to this thing, that palace might as well be an apartment building.
Yeah.
Right. Categories. They're not linear, they're exponential. To go up in categories to be an order of magnitude stronger, an order of magnitude worse.
My god. Let's just keep it together, I guess.
I look at the two who are in the back. I look at Phan. You feeling better?
Let's finish this.
Yeah, that's a good attitude to have.
Remember, everyone. This is a hunt. That means that thing's our prey. Ready to get to work? Take out the pen again.
Hell yeah.
Trailing behind for a second. Stopping Ivy for just a moment. Don't tell the others what happened, please.
As far as I'm concerned, nothing happened.
Okay, let's do our jobs then.
Yeah, you step onto the oil rig with the rest of the group, exploring its charred and burnt remains, making your way up the access ladder outside, until eventually reaching another large door.
Okay. Every door we open here, we risk finding this thing. We ready to go?
I'm just gonna start knocking on doors. Opening them, checking inside. Behind every door, I'm prepared to see a monster, and I'm prepared to kill that monster.
Every door you open just leads to another mundane room. Each area completely undisturbed, frozen in time, almost. Like strange shrines to the deceased. Bits and pieces, personal objects, bits of memorabilia, left behind. Almost as if it's one final reckoning, one final last memory of what was lost. The further you walk into this place, the further the black goo and fog begins to creep up. It was a thin layer as you first arrived here, but it has slowly begun to rise, engulfing the pontoons, the supports in which this thing stands, until eventually you look out the window and you no longer see the raging sea, but instead just black ichor, slowly filling up and up and up and up. As this happens, the first time you see it out the window, you hear an intense rumbling, and then the bursting of pipes and the changing of temperature as something giant screams as it squeezes inside.
Alright, I think we need to move to more open air before this thing jumps out at us.
Where do we get to jump on it first? We use the nail.
I don't know. This place seems pretty elaborate. I'd hate to fight it on its terms.
How does an oil rig strain under the weight of something?
As you walk forward, it seems as if it's always just 5 paces behind you, which should be impossible because you're practically sprinting through this place. And you make your way up through the halls, through the pressurized doors, until reaching high ground, one of the few open areas in this place, where the drill head is located and where the oil is extracted. You find yourselves looking into the distance, seeing some of the only light visible in this area. A spark coming from the fuel tanks, and light from the burn tower, far in the distance, hovering out over the ocean. As you reach this place, you hear another large groan as something pulls itself further through, and the rig lists to its side. You all lurch and stumble momentarily before it rebalances itself. Slightly off, like a 15-degree tilt towards the left. You hear a series of pops, and as the sound of Phan, something you would know familiarly, as the sound of pops of bolts exploding off of pressurized chambers begin to occur, and the sound of metal begins to snap, as at first just a little black liquid spills up and out from this well, until eventually torrential pourings of black liquid begin to flow out of this drill. You stand there, completely drenched in black ichor, as something massive becomes to come up the pipe. And you feel your feet begin to rumble beneath you as this giant mass in the shape of a blue whale emerges from the center pipe as it makes contact and it lands in the center of all of you.
You guys do what you gotta do. I can get you out of a pickle if you get yourselves in one. He cocks his gun.
Take 2 of these pens, toss them in the air around me. All of you can see, glittering within them, an axis of pure grace as both of them fall in front of me, spinning like a drill, as both of them immediately just start rotating, forming like 2 rings of death. As they spin around me, I'm like keeping the beat in my head as I'm imagining 100 rotations per second around my body, and I can release it from its orbit, spinning like drills at the whale. And I'll use Fling.
Wonderful. I believe I will give you a risk roll for this. Ooh.
Oh, never mind. Okay, this is gonna be bad.
Okay, much worse, but
We could still do damage.
Manifesting
I'm
that
still
6.
right.
Here we go.
I'm going to roll Psyche, and I'm going to use the work. I can choose to gain 1 die of advantage on any roll. If I do, I take 1 stress for each time you use this ability this mission, including this one. And I can't use it for the remainder of the hunt if I rest, which I have not. I will take a point of stress, and I will roll 2d6 of Psyche.
Get her.
Nat 6.
Holy fuck.
Fuck him up.
Is that okay? How much? So that's like okay. Nat 6. The like pens impact the side of this whale, and you just like fling them at like max velocity, spinning like drill heads as they lambast into the side of this thing. Its giant eye, blinking blood and oil. So I think how rules is written, that counters out the much worse, and we can hit like a nice happy medium here where something bad will happen to you, but it's not going to be as bad as it would have been. As you throw your pens into this beast, it begins to writhe around in pain. Your impacts creating holes in the side of this thing where blood and oil begins to gush out even more, covering the battlefield and you in oil.
What is a whale a large animal?
I think a whale is definitely a large animal.
Let's go. Okay, I'll win these.
It would be insane for me to not say so.
Okay, then it's within my cat range. All right. I'm going to use time stop. So Connell, you watch as he places his hands on a metaphysical strain that you cannot see, and you watch as he brings his hands together, but it looks like they're being resisted by something. And he brings them together, and he presses his fist together for a crack. His knuckles crack, and you watch as the space around the whale freezes completely as this metaphysical blue space manifests around it.
Let me get a little risk roll for you as well. Hey, nice.
Oh my god. Okay.
Not bad.
4 seconds, and
And it's
wow,
better than
okay.
expected.
That's great. Okay, so after stopping the time on the on the whale, he just wants to pump a bunch of lead into it. He pulls out his shotgun and he's just gonna shoot a bunch of blasts that will resolve once the time stop is up. But 4 seconds is really great. Yeah, so he's gonna pump, I think 2 shots would be reasonable. Yeah.
This, creature's hide is so unbelievably tough that it's going to take just the first shot alone to, break through the, thick layer of, oil and viscera to, get to the juicy, fleshy bits underneath.
No, 3/4!
Ooh.
That's rough.
Bummer.
You try and pump lead into this giant creature, but its massive form is far too large for just normal rounds to penetrate. You need some sort of, boosted assistance here. Some way to break through the tough hide of this creature.
I gave you guys an opening. Give it everything you got.
I can throw it off balance and give you advantage. But it's gonna affect the entire room.
Oh, the whole platform?
As far as I know, I am covered in oil, and I didn't run away.
Well, this isn't fire, so you're fine. This is not fire.
Okay. I fully expected you to blow me up again.
No, this time I can really kill you.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Every session,
Finally.
just Ryuji gets horrifically mangled by Ivy.
I'm gonna use Void. And watching everything that happens, I'm gonna take a couple steps towards it. I'm gonna look it in the eye, hold my hand up towards it, and you hear a big boom of a thunderclap, and you all start to float up. I think, yeah. Anything you own or have, it all starts to float up. All humans and exorcists in the area are thrown off their feet and pulled in. And the sin, since it's a large animal, is thrown off balance. All glass is shattered.
Oh, man. Oh, my glasses, no!
And you're momentarily deafened. It's just the sin, so you see the whale being, swept up with the oil, too. And it's thrown off balance.
That was a 3 on the risk roll.
Then you may gain or grant one dice when you or any ally next acts to take advantage of this power. So
I'm gonna
give it
next.
to
Okay.
Phan. I'm gonna look her in the eye and be like, now's the time.
I got this.
Alright, you watch as, a giant tendril of blood that is now sticking out of the whale, due to Ryuji's pens, sort of lashes around and grabs your foot, slamming you into the deck, covering you in the petrol in this area, and you are going to take 3 stress.
That's a lot.
Jesus
That
Christ!
3 fucking hurts.
Now that's a fucking sin. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. 3 stress from 1 hit. Holy
Dude,
shit.
Isobe was a fucking nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Categories are not linear. It's order of magnitude.
Yeah, exactly. It only gets worse.
I am resonant with doors, and if I understand correctly, at any point using Kit, I can pull something out of a matching size. So I want to pull out, using Kit in my pocket, a door handle. And I am going to Psyche Burst. I am going to take my hammer, raise up the door handle, slam it as psychic energy propels it forward as a door that only I can see manifests around the handle as it flies open, spilling keys at the center. And that's 1d6 plus the bonus plus the support by Ivy, and I'm also going to dip into Sin to give myself an extra die.
Crazy.
Jesus
4
fucking
D6.
Christ.
Dip into sin?
As I gain 1 Sin, thank God. And I am going to roll 4d6 on my Psyche.
Holy shit.
Okay.
As that is
okay.
3 successes.
That's 3 successes. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
As
Okay.
keys are flying through the psychic door that I have manifested, cutting and burrowing into its flesh, unlocking cube segmented pieces of its flesh that turn and twist.
Holy shit.
Fucking sick.
Okay, yeah. I think that's gotta be 2 slashes. Just due to the amount of dice rolled and everything. However, you are going to get a risky roll for this. A 4. And if you would go ahead and prepare your character sheet for me really quickly. I would like you to permanently add something to your agenda really quickly for me. Could you add die to your agenda for me, please?
Excuse me?
Die.
Just dying is one of my
Yep.
agendas? A main agenda?
What? Dying?
You'll get XP. And this
The
is
dying affliction is crazy.
That is so good.
It's just the word die. I just die. Jeez, that's a 4. What the fuck is wrong with this thing?
I have an ability that I would like to modify with the usage of a Psyche Burst. You create a weaker but persistent vector force in an area that lasts until you rest. It creates a line that goes about category range and length and covers the width of about a street. It constantly pushes in one direction like a strong wind, and anyone moving in that direction gain +1d of advantage on actions to move with the current. Anything moving against that direction struggles. I see everything going down. I see Ivy being slammed into the ground. I see Phan pretty much on the front lines trying to take this thing down with her power. And I think about trying to get myself on a vantage point and trying to make myself useful, trying to put in the work. And I realize that the work doesn't get done without some kind of sacrifice, so I will actually begin to walk towards this thing. And I tap Connell on the shoulder and I say, change of plans! I'm running towards Ivy, who's on the ground. I will thrust my hand out. All of the synapses in my body fire off at once. I have a seizure that lasts 0.02 seconds, and I will create a vector in a circle around me like I am the eye of a hurricane, and start to push everything in a clockwise current around my body.
holy fuck. Okay. I'm gonna need a risk roll for this. All of this is risky, but that's fucking awesome, actually. Holy shit. Ooh.
You have to counter that.
Yeah, you have to counter.
I will not.
Damn! Himothy.
Okay. Ryuji. And anyone who is nearby Ryuji, you must decide to either 1, fly to his aid, or don't offer aid, and if you choose not to offer, you can no longer participate in what is about to happen.
What the fuck does that mean?
I'm so not ready.
Who is near Ryuji right now?
Me?
Is it just
Connell isn't too
Ivy?
far, but
We will start with a pool of 6d6, and we will be removing one for each no to the question I ask. Is there another person aiding you? If so, can you describe how?
I would also help. Fuck.
I really don't think that Phan would. I think she's focused on this mission, and whatever happens to her teammate happens to him.
Can you grab onto something nearby? Yes or no?
I cannot.
I'm gonna vomit.
Ivy? How would you be able to help Ryuji here?
I could run away, use Void, and I could suck Ryuji back to me.
Well, I mean, there's no need to run away because I just ripped the whale from you.
Here's another question. Do we have access to a bright light source or heat? The answer is yes, correct?
The human fireball?
It's yes.
So, we have 2 yeses and 1 no. Is the ogre distracted or hindered or under duress in some way?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, we have 1 no and 3 yeses. We will be rolling a pool of 66.
I can't do this.
If this is stress, Ryuji is fucking dead.
You watch as a mass of limbs constructed of fingers, arms, and hands covered in eyeballs, all dripping oil, begin to slam as they are about to bear down on top of you. The whale opens its mouth, this sick appendage coming out, taking the place of its tongue, like a sick parasite coming to slap you. The exorcists who are aiding Ryuji may take 1 stress for every die rolled, no matter the result. This is 3 guaranteed stress on Ivy and Ryuji. So we're going to be rolling a pool of 3 dice.
Could I use my 3 initial psyche bursts on just burning the stress that I'm absolutely gonna get?
It's only 3 stress. I think that sounds like a bad idea.
I'm about to gain an injury. Are you about to gain an injury? Because I am.
We do kind of need those to kill the sin. That's the problem. This thing has so much health left.
You're welcome to.
Here's what I'll do. I'll spend 2 psyche bursts and I'll just take 1 stress.
Go ahead and mark that off your sheet, please.
It's done and I'm sick to my stomach. Is everyone happy?
All right. We are going to roll 3 dice now. Holy shit.
That's really
That's
good.
pretty
You
good.
are all
That's pretty
so
good.
fucking lucky.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Yeah, okay. It looks like you will both just be taking... That's so crazy. Holy shit, you guys have no idea how lucky you are. The Cain knowers and the video watchers are going to know how much of a fucking bullet you guys just dodged.
Ryuji was about to fucking die.
God. Yeah.
I mean, what happens?
You watch as this giant mass of limbs comes careening down on you from this whale's mouth as it begins to slam and thrash. However, thanks to everything that has happened, the whale being hindered and pushed off its side, being bombarded by keys, bits and pieces of it falling off, it being voided and pushed around by Vector, you are able to dodge out of the way of the worst of it, avoiding multiple of your limbs being removed from your body. And that is not flavor, that is not hyperbole, that is what would have happened.
Oh shit.
God damn.
Was the roll per each limb?
Yep.
So you pull me out, I'm like leaned on your shoulder like, holy shit!
Oh god.
I'm like leaned on your shoulder, like we're both propping each other up, like watching this thing that nearly tore me to pieces. I go, okay, you saved my life. Let's just survive a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree.
Standing there, I think you, Ivy, realize that the vector force is persistent and tethered to Ryuji. It's like stuck on him. There is a constant whirling wind surrounding him at all times, and just by being close to him, you are in the eye of the storm. This thing and all of like the shipping containers on the deck of this oil rig, everything is like groaning, metal against metal, everything's screeching like it's crying out in pain. The whole world is spinning around you, and not in a good way.
To be clear, that gives an extra dice, right?
Yeah, if you go with the current.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
I believe that is Ryuji's go for this round, and Ivy, that is also your go with the Void. So it is Connell and Phan.
All right. Okay, now that this wind current is dredging up around this arena, Connell sees that the shipping containers are being disturbed, and he gets a bright idea. He is going to run over to a shipping container that's next to the arena. He's going to go to the back of it. He cocks his shotgun. He is going to do a psychic burst blast, but with the shotgun up against the shipping container to launch it at the whale.
Okay, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and get the risk for that real quick.
Thank God.
Beautiful! Would I just roll psychic burst for this?
Yes, please. And then I will start my reaction. Just one sec.
Nice, that's a 6.
Let's fucking go! Holy shit, that's awesome!
Can you describe to me how this happens?
Okay, so what Connell is doing is he takes his shotgun and he presses it up the cargo container and he begins to run energy through his shotgun and he shoots it and it propels the container and I imagine himself into the whale.
All of you minding your business, Ryuji and Ivy completely phased by this insane death, this insane mangling that was almost inflicted on both of you. Witness, just as in the corner, Connell, the quiet one, pulls out his fucking 12 gauge, blasts a hole inside of the shipping container, and proceeds to ride it like a fucking rodeo animal into the whale. If that's not 2 slashes, I don't even know what is. However, this sin takes the shipping container as it lodges into its side, fully envelops itself around it, and just tosses it back at you, Connell. And then this throw back at you is going to deal 2 stress.
I am going to use another sin, 2 total. I'm going to use a Psyche Burst and command the multiple tankers of oil to burst, further drenching the outer shell of its tough flesh so that it may be burnt through by Ivy's flame. And she will get an extra dice.
Very cool. Let's go ahead and get a little risk roll on that.
And I'm going to counter that. Okay, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, pop the counter.
So that's a 1.
After seeing a near dismemberment, I think any much worse risk roll we counter.
You tell yourself revenge was your greatest motivator, and to an extent I think it was. But there's something you can't fix. Is that you weren't there that day. And they died because of you. That's 1 slash, and any stress that we take is reduced by 1 as a result of that.
On a 1, everyone is going to take 3 stress, rounded down to 2.
I take an injury.
Yeah, I also take an injury.
Like, you watch as the ogre just opens its mouth, and where, like, the brine that normally sits in a whale's mouth to collect krill is just 1,000 little razor blades that just begin to shoot out at all of you.
Okay, so I'm going to use Saber, and rules as written, the very first time you use this power in a mission, it gains one dice for every tick on the pressure clock, and there's 4 ticks on the pressure clock. For every 6 result you roll, this ability inflicts 1 extra slash on the talisman. But you also take 1 stress, which could kill you or cause an injury.
Oh no!
You can also spend as many Psyche Bursts as you want to gain another die.
I will be doing
More
that.
sin, chat.
So I have 4 additional dice, plus Phan's dice, plus my own dice from my Void ability, plus Ryuji's dice from his Eye of the Hurricane Storm that's going on. So that's 7 additional dice? No, 7. 7 additional dice.
Pop that shit.
Can I use my last Psyche Burst to make it 8 additional
No.
dice?
But you could take some sin and get another.
I'll take sin and get another.
This is insane.
Let's just fucking go for it. You know?
This fight is coughing bomb versus hydrogen baby.
2 sixes!
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's 3 talisman
good.
slashes.
Yeah,
Ow!
that's fucking crazy. Can you explain to me how you deal 3 slashes of damage to this creature?
Seeing my own mother for... The only times I've ever seen her aren't, besides the day she died, was in a picture. And seeing her almost so close to me that I could reach out and touch her has profusely done something to my mental that I will never gain back. Seeing her crying tears of blood, looking at me, this thing has done damage to her image in my mind that will never be repaired. And seeing Phan so broken, someone who I would almost call a friend, I am filled with so much rage and sadness and just despair that what comes out of me, I think, would be ice, but it's just the brightest blue flame you have ever seen me produce. And it even, like, singes me. Like, Ryuji, you're the closest to me. You can see the flames, like, leave a burn mark up my, my forearm as it just explodes in a straight line directly towards the whale, and it just engulfs it. It takes... The blue flames take place in all the keyholes that Phan has left, and it just, like, singes even deeper. You smell petrol, and just, like... it's just like the smell of some burning flesh. It's almost vile, but when you look at me, I'm smiling.
I think if someone could see this oil rig from the other side of the horizon, they would see blue flames spiraling up towards the clouds above.
Oh, and the first time on a hunt you take an injury, relieve 1d3 sin.
You blast a giant, like, single shining blue flame that bursts through one side of this whale, this ogre, out the other, completely cutting a hole directly through it. As it attempts to heal the damage inside of it, nothing happens, as it physically cannot reconstruct the amount of damage in that one specific spot that is just taken. As you look out into the horizon, you see the fog has been split by this light in the distance.
Sorry to interrupt, but there should be a risk roll for that, right?
Yes. Here we go, ready? Oh, fuck my life. Literally, fuck.
Put more
Holy
damage on
shit.
there!
I just
Cannon.
I
That's
just have
fucking cannon, baby.
I just have to.
A solid 6 on the risk
I
roll.
think I just have to kill myself.
Put
The
more
outcome
damage
is
on
even
there.
better than expected.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, I was gonna
Put
say.
another slash on that bitch.
You
Put
should.
another slash on there.
Yeah, put another slash on that bitch.
You guys hate me.
You tried to dismember me 2 turns ago.
You deserved it.
Lucky.
Dude, why is it every game that I run, I just get fucked, man? What is this?
As I like get up, I'm like looking down towards Ivy, who is just like probably fallen to one knee from letting out a huge gout of flame. There's flame still licking around us. I'm like covering you with my body. I like look down, and I see this kid with burn marks running up her forearms, and something primal just kicks up within me that just screams, take the danger and send it as far away as possible and hope it is destroyed. And all of the grace running up my spine and into my skull flares. The tear ducts in my eyes glow a brilliant light as I let out a wail that sounds like if a wild dog was cornered in an alleyway, the kind of bark it would let out before it makes its final attack. And I will use all of my strength to use my current, take this whale, rotate it around me, and fling it into the nearest wall at as fast of a speed and large of momentum as possible. I plan on taking this thing, spinning it around me, and liquefying it against the nearest surface.
God.
I will use the work to take another 2 points of stress to give myself a dive advantage, and I will use a psyche burst, and also it is in my current.
Here comes the risk roll. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, you love to see it.
All right. I'm gonna roll that now. That's 2 5s.
Okay.
2 successes.
We'll take 2 5s.
It's certainly enough to deal 1 slash of damage. You will be taking 2 stress.
I am 1 stress away from gaining another injury
How is it always you? How is it always you?
because I put in the work.
Connell is just going to walk up. I imagine that, like, the sin at this point is, like, splayed out upon the ground. He digs in his bag and he pulls out his handmade drum and he begins to walk towards it. You know, I think it's about time that you sit and relax. Because the biggest thing that keeps me down when I'm fucked up is music. His drum begins to grow brilliant blue as he is going to use a psychic burst using the drum as he is going to try to hit it to finish the whale off. Ooh!
Okay. I'm gonna do something really quick if that's alright. I'm gonna use my agenda ability, I'll do it myself. And as I demand the drum to play the melody he's been playing all week, reverberating out, as I can add a die, potentially making it succeed. But I do take 1d3 plus 1 stress, so I'll roll that first. I take 4 stress.
Oh shit.
Oh god! Oh no!
And I would take an injury, but I cannot take injuries from my ability. Now, 1d6. Come on.
Come on.
I'm sensing it.
It's a success!
Holy fuck.
Yeah!
I'm gonna ask Connell. I'm screaming out. What's your favorite song?
Bum bum tish!
Holy
Holy
callback,
shit.
bro.
It's peak.
With that, the whale's inside become liquefied as all of the holes and pieces out of it, you watch as like its bile and organs begin to like leak out of every hole and wound you've created. A mess of organs and oil is spilling out directly around the area where the wound was cauterized by Ivy.
Cinema.
That's awesome.
It's cinema.
So fucking sick.
With the disintegration of this whale, what remained of this poor woman, Ueno Yoshiko? You all see just a sickly corpse left behind. Skin as pale as lead, hair black, eyes black. She lays there, dead on the floor, a fraction of the size of the ogre that consumed her. Her vengeance made manifest. Relying on a power beyond them, their own sadness carrying them further and further and further. As you stand on this oil rig, alone, fires burning, the fog subsiding, and what you think to be the sun peeking out behind the clouds is actually the lights in the storm drain turning on, everything being reconnected as you all emerge at the bottom of this giant industrial area. All of the goo disintegrating and turning back into just normal rainwater. And this basin fulfills its purpose as a good piece of public infrastructure that the citizens of Tokyo rely on.
I checked my watch. Oh no.
It reads 5:30 a.m.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Is this what a 9 to 5 is like?
I'm like about to like collapse onto Ivy, but then I realize that I have to stand upright because she's more injured than I am.
But I'm about to collapse.
I prop her up with all the faux strength, adrenaline still coursing through my veins. I go, all right. Good work, everyone. We did it. What was that song you were playing? Bum bum.
Oh, Bum Bum Tish. I think it's like Bohemian Rhapsody or something. I forget.
You know, Connell, something interesting happened at the end. It was talking, the drum, but it was just one voice this time. Maybe it finally joined into something whole?
Well, here. Connell offers you his drum. Then you could take better care of it than me. I can't talk to it.
No, that's fine. Objects held by people that are of importance are usually better with them themselves.
Well, you knew how to use it better than me. You told me how to use it.
Sorry. If I can interject real quick. Is that a desk? What is that? Did you guys break company property again?
Oh, this is made out of the bed, the locker, and the desk.
Oh, and the shower curtains.
Don't tell him it was made out of the shower curtains. He's gonna get extra mad.
Oh, there are shower curtains?
Yeah, we put a lot of effort into hiding them from you.
You know what? Good work, everyone.
Yeah. Let's get you guys to the clinic.
Please, God. I could feel my insides.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, does it?
You begin to retrace your steps. You walk up the stairs that led you to this place. It goes much faster this time, without the fog impeding you. What took you hours to navigate to before now is completed in the span of 15 to 20 minutes, as you find yourself pushing past tape by the abandoned subway car and stepping out onto the streets of Shinjuku.
All right. The salarymen should be showing up in the next couple hours, so we have time to clear out.
Where's Boss Lady?
I think she's gonna meet us back at our building.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if she'll meet us back at the building.
Well, it doesn't matter. Let's get you medical care first. Take you back to Castle.
Do you know where the medical office is?
Ryuji does.
Oh, I don't. Trust me.
Could we not take the train?
For the first time in my life, let's not take the train.
Hey, taxi! Taxi! Asshole!
Let's just walk.
The rain is still falling, and that little bit of ichor and blood is sort of washed off your clothes, down back underground, forgotten where it's supposed to be, as you walk home, as the sun begins to rise on another day in Tokyo.
I'm eating sugar from this gummy bear package.
I thought you were gonna say just eating sugar, like from a bag.
Rylee, that's so sad.
I used to do that.
Rylee, no. Rylee, that's
I'm not
so sad.
joking. That's all I'm doing.
Why are you doing like a salt lick? This is like a salt lick. This is...
Why'd you thumbs down me?
No, you've never seen John Roman Emperor. Thumbs down's good.
What?
He's got to know how it works. When an emperor gives you a thumbs down, that's good. That means he's impressed. Thumbs up is you fucking suck.
Oh, interesting.
What is this reverse psychology?
That's just how the Romans were. They were weird as hell.
No, you're not gonna cut this, right? This is gonna stand.
This is staying in. Absolutely.
No one needs to know I eat sugar. from
We're
a
actually
package.
cutting everything else out.